That's a tweet from Jim Cramer of his dog, Nvidia. After he heard our conversation at the top of the hour, the chip maker beat analyst estimates on the top and bottom lines. Current quarter guidance came in above expectations. That stock up sharply this morning in pre-market trading. Our next guest says despite the share price run-up, Nvidia remains a top pick. Joining us now is Vivek Arya, BofA Securities Senior Semiconductors Analyst. If you name a dog, Vivek, you got to be sure. And you know, thinking about, I've heard Jim talk about it a lot, and that's the type of appreciation you get to 800 billion. If you start under 100 billion, to get that unbelievable appreciation, that's what it looks like to see. It's a wonderful thing to see a market cap increase like that. And I'm glad Jim did it. I mean, what if you named a dog like Blockbuster or something, or I don't know, Lucent, or it wouldn't work, would it, Vivek?
Hi, good morning, Joe. Thanks for having me. I think the big picture view is that growth is still in early stages. I know the market cap is very impressive, but if you look at the adoption of artificial intelligence, it's still in the first 10% of its adoption curve. If you look at gaming, only a quarter of Nvidia's over 200 million gamers have adopted their new product called Ampere. Things like Omniverse are just starting. And the thing is that if I look at the workloads, whether it's consumer workloads or enterprise workloads or cloud workloads, they all involve manipulating voice, video, images, and that requires a very scalable platform. And I know we keep on coming up with new things, whether it's Omniverse or autonomous cars or 3D simulation, but the underlying silicon and system and software architecture, I think there's only one company that's able to achieve that. That is why we think the growth is still in very, very early stages for Nvidia.
All right. So 26 billion in sales, let's say. You still can't deny 800 billion. This company has to grow into this market cap. The Meta, the spending from Facebook to try to get to this Meta platform has really lit a fire under the stock because it's going to be a main beneficiary. But you take all the money Facebook is planning on spending, it's billions, but we're talking about an $800 billion company, Vivek. How do you justify something trading at, if it's 26 billion in sales, do the math. I mean, how do you grow into an $800 billion market cap?
Sure. So I would think about this in terms of the multi-trillion IT budget, right, across the world. And if I just focus on the cloud computing companies, Facebook is planning to spend 33 billion next year, but Google is planning to spend the same. Amazon is planning to spend about that much or even more. So you have a combination of hyperscale spending, you have enterprise spending. Think about the telecom service providers like Verizon and others who are building out their 5G networks, and they need to have very flexible ways of handling the traffic that requires a lot more usage of AI. And I think that's the key point, that the technology that NVIDIA has built is very scalable across all these markets. And then on top of it, you add a consumer market like gaming, and then you add markets like automotive, which is a multi-trillion-dollar industry by itself, just at the cusp of transformation. I think that's what makes the growth trajectory very, very interesting and exciting. And I go back to 5 or 6 years. Many of these markets we are not even heard of. And that's why I think that the valuation that the company will surely, grow into is because the architecture they have built is so leverageable for a lot of these new markets that continue to come up every day.